lot. There's big stuff happens. I feel like when Jonathan comes on, we're getting hit with some real heavy news in the wrestling world. So first off, I talked about Cody last time Jonathan was here. Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes. You know, they left AEW. They're probably going to go to WWE, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And I think last week I had said that rumor has it we're going to have Cody versus Edge at Mania. That's no longer happening. It's Edge versus AJ Styles. Not going to lie. As much as I like Cody Rhodes, Edge versus AJ Styles would be a much better match. That's AJ motherfucking Styles. He's like one of the greatest to ever do it. So it's going to be phenomenal. No pun intended, because he's the phenomenal AJ Styles. So there's that, and then you have Cody, which now there's reports saying that this man might not even be in WWE. So who knows what's going to happen with Cody. But I have a later news story. I'm going to come back to that. So there's the Cody Rhodes situation. Also, there were rumors that at this year's WrestleMania, since Vince McMahon fired damn near everyone, he was going to fight at WrestleMania.
Oh, God.
And not only were there rumors that he was going to fight at WrestleMania, he was going to fight Pat McAfee. Jonathan, who's Pat McAfee?
Pat McAfee, the football guy?
Yep, Pat McAfee, the football guy. Also, the commentator.
Now,
on
Pat
WWE
McAfee
SmackDown.
kind of strong. He a little swole.
Pat McAfee's already had 2 wrestling matches in NXT, and he's proven that he can go. He's not bad. He's obviously athletic. So it was weird because they were just like, if he fights Vince, who's carrying the match? The old man or the guy who's not a wrestler? So we're trying to figure that out. And earlier, just today, on the Pat McAfee show, Vince McMahon was a special guest, and Vince McMahon offered him a match. See, what I think is going to happen is you're not going to have Vince fight him. Vince has this character on Monday Night Raw called Austin Theory that he's kind of like a father figure to. So I think they're going to go Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee. And Austin Theory's a young, good, up-and-coming wrestler, so he could probably carry the match, and then you have Vince McMahon involved somehow. And I think that's what they're going to go with. But the rumors for the past week have been McMahon-McAfee, and that would have just been hilarious. So there is that. Another Vince
Someone
McMahon
was going to break a hip.
Well, last time he had a match, it was just after he had hip surgery, just to prove that he could. He fought CM Punk, who was currently WWE champion at the time, and then Punk punched a man in the audience. Long story. Now, the next news story I have, Undertaker is rightfully so going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Damn right.
And he's going to be inducted by Vince McMahon. Vince normally doesn't induct people. The only other person he inducted was Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it's a very big deal.
That's a very big deal.
Who was it? Undertaker who inducted Kane?
Kane was inducted by no one. Kane's not. No, Kane is in the WWE Hall of Fame, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I remember when he got inducted.
I forgot. I remember Kane inducting Paul Bearer. Who inducted Kane?
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it was Taker. I feel like Taker makes a lot of sense. Oh no,
because Kane was always one of my favorites. So.
This week he said some controversial stuff on social media. A lot of people are disliking Kane.
Well, yeah, he's old white man, so I'm not surprised about that.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway,
life comes at you fast. Life comes at you fast.
Wasn't he like a mayor or something of a town?
He's the mayor of Knoxville County, Tennessee.
Okay, that makes sense.
Kane?
Yeah.
So
he has been for a while now.
I'm guessing he said some racist shit.
He said it was about the whole Russia-Ukraine situation, where he was trying to say that like it's okay. I don't remember exactly what it was, so I'm gonna butcher it, but it was something about like people from the far left should, of course they're gonna complain about this whole Russian thing, blah blah blah, and it was almost like he was trying to okay it. And everyone's like, dude, you're not really trying to okay this war between Russia and the Ukraine right now. But
publicists,
I mean, like I said,
tell me that's not what you're saying.
Yeah. Like I'm butchering it. If anybody wants to know, just look for Glenn Jacobs. That's his real name on Twitter. But yeah, Taker going to WWE Hall of Fame, inducted by Vince McMahon. It's awesome. A lot of people wanted him to be the only inductee into WWE. That would be the second time ever. You only have one person going in, and he does deserve that honor, I think.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's hard to do a whole show focused on one person. It's got to be like an hour long or whatever. But it's Taker. He's wrestled for like fucking 30-something years. He could do it. And the biggest news story on AEW Dynamite yesterday, Tony Khan, he'd been saying that he has a major announcement. So the show starts off, he's in the ring with Tony Schiavone, and he's going off saying this, that, and the other. And then Tony Khan goes on to state that he bought and is now the owner of Ring of Honor. So now Tony Khan owns AEW and Ring of Honor, which is insane. He went on to say, no, it's not Shane McMahon, because there was like jokes that, because Shane McMahon bought WCW years ago for the storyline with the invasion. But now having Tony Khan running what was for many years considered like the best of the indie promotions, like so good it's technically not even an indie. You have like Bryan Danielson came from there, CM Punk came from there, all these guys, and now Tony Khan owns it. It looks like he's going to try to make Ring of Honor a developmental territory for AEW, kind of like NXT is for WWE.
That's dope. When you own both of them, like streamline the people straight into your own.
Yeah. So that's going to be incredible. And not only does he own that, he owns all the rights to previous Ring of Honor like footage. And people have been saying, the streaming is a big thing. So now Tony Khan can show you the debut and career of CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson, Christopher Daniels, AJ. No, I don't know if he was there. But it's like you have all these guys that like came up through Ring of Honor. Now Tony owns the library. He can go to any streaming service, and because they're TNT/TBS, which is owned by Warner Media, who has HBO Max, it could happen.
That's true.
And the thing is, Vince McMahon was reportedly trying to get the tapes for Ring of Honor for years, and he never got it. Now, to see Tony Khan pulling it off out of nowhere is very incredible. And one more thing that he owns the rights to is when AEW started, it was because of the big show All In, as I've talked about on this podcast multiple times. That was kind of like associated with Ring of Honor. So AEW never owned the rights to All In. Now they do. So now Tony even owns the true beginning of what AEW started out as, the big super indie show. So insane. This is very great news for AEW, for Tony Khan, for people who are a fan of their brand of wrestling, which I am. And it's just a good thing for the wrestling world.
Wrestling in general, right? Yeah. Like when you have competition, the other people got to step it up, to get those eyes on. So
yeah, and then you have this whole
competition
brand
breeds excellence.
Yeah, and then you have this whole brand to help develop the younger talent, get eyes on them. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with it.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, that's my wrestling.
It was Undertaker who announced that he was going to be
inducted
into Hall. Yeah.
Well, no, he was
Undertaker,
announced. It was announced on TV.
I'm talking about Kane. Undertaker announced to Kane that he was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
That's what it was. Yep, he told him. It was some show that nobody watches.
It
was like WWE's.
But that's what it was. I thought he did it. Yeah, I thought he did it on like the actual show. But
yeah, I cannot for the life of me remember who inducted Kane.